What's up, everyone? How's it going today? Justin Japan here. Now, before I moved back to the US, there were a few things I was expecting to miss about Japan, obviously. I was expecting to miss food, the scenery, friends I made, and public transport, of course, because there's none of that in the US. Anyway, since I've been back in America, there's also a few things that I found that I wasn't really actually expecting to miss about Japan. So for this video, I wanted to talk about those few things. So this first thing is kind of random. Well, actually, they're all kind of random. But anyway, so a couple of weeks ago, when I was packing to go to my friend's wedding in Hawaii, I found myself thinking a couple of times, well, if this was Japan, because in Japan, there's no limit to the beverage size, the liquid size you can take on planes. So I can take a full water bottle on through security, no problem. A full thing of sunscreen through security, no problem. Which I obviously needed for Hawaii because I'm pale as a ghost. But I realized just going through security at the airport was just so much easier, and it's faster too. I think whenever I flew in Japan, it took maybe 5-10 minutes to go through security, but in America, it can take 20-30 minutes. It's really not fun. I just found the whole process not pleasant, but much less annoying in Japan. So the next thing I wasn't expecting to miss were the limited time monthly drinks they had at Starbucks in Japan, which is really weird coming from me because I never go to Starbucks in America. I didn't go that much in Japan, but the limited time drinks were really cool, and it was kind of like this big event every month. And they were the same they were different every year on that month. So for example, like the August drink in 2024 would have been different from what is going on now at the time I'm filming this video. And obviously the drinks kind of fit with the season. So like the Halloween drink was like, I remember the Halloween drink one time was like this chocolate raspberry type thing, I think, where it was black and red, which is very Halloweeny. Around April, they always have a cherry blossom flavored drink. And I kind of missed the big event of going to Starbucks. Strangely enough, never thought I'd say that. So the third thing on this list actually took a couple of years to grow on me, and it was being able to walk and cycle everywhere. So first, from 16 to 22, when I first got my learner's permit, to when I moved to Japan as part of the JET program, I'd never been without a car. Where I'm at in the US, there's basically no public transport like a lot of places in America, so I had to go everywhere with a car. And I get to Japan, and the Board of Education, the BOE, each city in Japan has like their own BOE who is basically in charge of the JET's contract and everything, or the JET ALT's contract and everything. Well, the Matsuyama BOE was very strict about ALTs getting their license and having cars. Maybe less so the license thing and just owning a car. I guess maybe, I don't know how long it would have been now, 20-30 years back, some Matsuyama ALTs who had a car got in some trouble with their car. And from that point on, they basically were really strict about ALTs having cars. I don't know what the actual story is. Apparently they stole a tire or something. I don't know, I could be wrong. But anyway, because they were really strict, and I wasn't actually in like Matsuyama, the city center, when I was in ALT. I was outside of Matsuyama. I was like in the countryside. And so there was a little bit of public transport because it's Japan, but there wasn't a whole lot. So a car would have been really nice. So I could still do everything on a bike. It just took a while sometimes. And then I quit JET, and then I was able to get myself a car eventually. Or have access to a car. Anyway, But I never really needed the car once I actually left Jet and moved to like the Matsuyama city proper. I really liked being able to walk and cycle everywhere. Maybe because this time it was my own choice. And now that I'm back in America, I kind of wish I had that option to walk or cycle places to get a couple extra steps in or get a little bit of extra exercise on my bike. Because I mean, I always could walk to the supermarket, but it's going to take me an hour one way, which is obviously not very feasible. I guess moral of the story, the grass is always greener on the other side. So the next thing on this list is something I'm sure I'm going to miss in a couple of months. So this one's kind of preemptive, but it's heated toilet seats. Or really just bidets in general. This was something that I really was not expecting to miss when I went to Japan, but they're pretty nice. Anyway, but back to the heated toilet seat part. There's a couple of reasons, well, two really, why this is really important in Japan. First, Japanese homes and apartments don't really have central heating. So you heat, in the winter you heat the areas where everyone is, and in the summer you cool off the areas where everyone is. Which usually means the bathroom doesn't always get heated up or cooled off. My apartment was kind of old, so on top of not having central heating, the insulation wasn't very great, so cold air would really leak in the winter, which made the bathrooms really cold. Showering in the winter in Japan is terrible. Anyway, so when you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, cold room, no central heating, having a heated toilet seat is life-saving. So this next thing I want to talk about is portion sizes. Namely, how I actually miss the smaller portion sizes in Japan. Coming back to America, even after a few months back, everything just feels so much bigger than it needs to be. It was nice being able to go out to eat all my food, and not feel stuffed for like a week afterwards. Because you know, in America, you go out to eat, but you have plans afterwards. So you drive there. You don't really want to leave your to-go box in your car because I feel like your food would just go bad that way. But it's also, if you don't eat all your food, it's also a waste not to eat everything. And it's kind of this weird situation where, I don't know, I just liked having smaller sizes in Japan. I actually felt less hungry, probably because I wasn't eating all the time, and my body got used to that. I don't know, but I just miss smaller portion sizes, strangely enough. Alright, that'll do it for the video today. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Just in Japan, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!